Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, we've got some NXT flashbacks. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today we are throwing it back to NXT. Very different periods, but still flashback figures. So on our right, on my right, yeah, your right, we've got Solo Sikoa, and I wanted to make I have this figure. This was his first figure. I wanted to go ahead and make more of an NXT look for him. So not a lot is going to be different. It's still going to have the same trunks. Like, all we're really doing is swapping out the knee pad and the trunks deco. So it's going to be the white version, and this is what I think this was the color he was wearing when he won the NXT North American title. I'm almost positive when he was the champion he was just wearing white, and then he switched to red once he went to the main roster and joined the Bloodline. So it's going to be a simple swap, just going to paint black over that, get the white decals on, and then it's going to be relatively easy for Corey Graves as well. But I kind of held out hope. I didn't know if we were going to be getting a Corey Graves from Mattel officially. Like, obviously, we've got this head sculpt here. We've gotten a basic, but I didn't know if we'd be getting an NXT version of him. So what I did was take a Daniel Bryan body. I just grabbed some arms. This one's got some old paint on it that I'll have to get off. But we're going to put the decals on the arms and then get rid of the design on here. And because he wore the DDP tight jeggings when he wrestled, so going to get the design off, acetone that off. That's gonna be a massive pain, but we'll get there. And then I think I'm also going to acetone off the beard and repaint that as well. I have to go back and look at some more pictures, see what's a little more accurate, but it's really nothing too difficult with these. It's gonna take some time to prep them and get them to where I want to be. So I'm excited to get to these. These are ones I want. Every custom I make, I want on my shelf, but I've always wanted an elite or at least a basic of NXT Corey Graves, and just adding another Solo to the shelf is always fun. So let's go. Okay, gonna get started with Solo here because this one's real easy. I'm gonna do the decals first before I do any painting. So I'll just place the decals and then touch up what I need to with black paint. That one's gonna be really simple. Normally I'll prep a whole figure and then I'll do the decals, but I figured here I'm gonna end up just covering up most of what I need, so we'll just paint in the black afterwards. Most of the work on this one, on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, is gonna come from the Corey Graves. So get the black here, paint the knee pad, and we're moving on. So with Graves, I'm going to do the arm decals first, get all of those placed on. That way, those can kind of be in place. I'll let those dry and everything, and then I'll start doing the painting on the legs. The arm decals. So tattoos, I always think are a lot of fun, but they can be overwhelming because they're so big, and obviously you're placing them over 2 or 3 different points of articulation. So the way I'll put them on is to use a lot of micro sole to soften it up, and then I will kind of press the outside of the arm and get it on there, and use the hair dryer a little bit to kind of melt those edges, and then I will press around the rest of the way with a sponge to kind of get them to stick on there. It's a long process. It's no different than what I've shown in like my how I do decals. It's just kind of figuring out the best way for yourself to do that. It's a process, but besides the decals here, the painting, I did decide to go back and repaint the head sculpt. So I used the skin tone paint from Cujo that I picked up and was really happy with it. And then for the most part, it's just repainting what was already there. But Mattel, they're not using True Effects. It's just like a flat paint, and I think it looks terrible. It looks like Lexus King's facial hair, which is intentionally terrible, but I don't want that for my figures. So just fixing that beard up on Graves, and we are out of here. All right, here we go with Graves and Solo. And first off, with the Solo, it was really easy, but I think that looks so clean. And honestly, I don't know if it's just because it's the NXT and with the white and black look, but I have less of an issue with this as opposed to when we got him just in the red attire. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I feel like he looked a little slimmer in NXT, or maybe it's just like the black and the white just catches my eye a little bit differently. But I'm really happy with how that came out. It came out nice and clean. The tape on the feet, so I did originally just kind of like wrap it how you would wrap your ankle in sports or something, where you kind of just wrap it around, but it could not stand up at all. So I did take the athletic tape and just taped it enough to get to the bottom here. Excuse me. So I taped it just a little bit on the bottom, and then on the heel I came back around like from back to front to finish it off there. Most of the pictures I looked at of NXT, he wasn't wearing a knee brace, so I was thinking I was going to throw that on there, but I didn't really see him wear that as much as he does on the main roster. And obviously now he's wearing like the kick pads and the big knee pads, so I'm not even sure if he's wearing a knee brace anymore. But I do have that on the red version of him, that Survivor Series, I think. No, Top Pick Solo. And then other than that, it was a real simple custom. So that was a fun one. I feel like that's a cool update. Throw that in my NXT 2.0 kind of shelf there. And then the Corey Graves, I'm going to redo my Neville custom, an NXT custom of his I did, and then throw the tag team belts on these. So his hair could look a little like a hair different for his NXT look, but I did end up completely repainting the head sculpt here. So that is using the flesh tone paint that I got from Cujo, which I just put a video up of kind of showing all of those off. And I think that paint is spot on, even in the camera here with the light on it. I think it looks great with the rest of the body. I took it very easy on the wash that I put on for the face, or for the beard. A lot of really light layers to kind of give him that shadow, because he didn't have a real thick beard, especially the way that the basic was painted up. So that, all of the tattoos on the hands, the paint on the pants there with the dark wash and a little bit of the white aren't entirely accurate. It was more kind of like spotted. It wasn't quite camouflage. This isn't perfectly accurate, but all in all, I'm really happy with how it looks. The head sculpt is really nice. That likeness is really nice, and repainting it, I think, made it even better. So there we are. We've got Corey Graves and Solo Sikoa from their time in NXT. I've got more people I want to make just from NXT. I mean, don't even need to go through the list. I have so many. Some of you have asked in like the comments. Some people have asked on Instagram. I've got a ton coming. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. I'm very excited. If you made it all the way to the end here for Work in Progress Wednesday, I appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude